Okay, back we come. I'll soon get quicker and quicker to get back in my seat. Uh, okay, um, how do we stop fighting? Something we've been doing since the beginning of time. Okay, simple. We have to make a change that is equally draconian. And here it is, item paragraph 2. We have to do something that has never happened before. We have to get rid of our neighbors because they are the ones we traditionally fight with. And in this modern age, our neighbors can exist way beyond that. So to make them all disappear, we have to change the long history of sovereign nation states. All states will become neutral, just like Switzerland, which, if you think about it, will be no bad thing, because over the centuries we have witnessed many individual leaders using their own countries as a tool to satisfy their own egos and lead their countries towards power and glory or death and destruction. We know history and we know what's happened, and we know what individual leaders, bad leaders, can do, can lead all their countries down the wrong path. Which we are now, if this happens now, if individual leaders lead their people down the wrong path, which again, as we are now realizing should never be allowed to happen. Because even if you win, you know you can now only lose. Because with the bomb, our innocent bystander, the pitch on which we all play our game of life, will also suffer death and destruction. We have said that any individual leader leading their country down towards a nuclear bomb is a signal for death for them and us and everybody. There are just too many bombs pre-targeted, and some of them are bound to work, and it'll just be the end. So it's something we cannot contemplate or be allowed to happen. In order to make our neighbors disappear, the 4 big power blocks have to get together. And here I really say how simple it could be. Just have a little think about what 4 good and sensible human beings could do for our planet. Just 4 people. If they got together over a bottle of wine, the leaders of the big 4 powers, what a change they could make. I mean, I know I'm in dreamland, but we have to think. If you don't dream, you'll never get anywhere. And if the 4 major players with the major military might got together, they could do something. Just 4 people. I know it'll be difficult, but that's what has to happen. And with other responsible nations and leaders, form one top table that will have the power and authority to bring a bit of order and sensible discipline. Discipline is a word everybody seems to hate today. Back into the totally confused and dangerous world we live in today. It will be like one sensible and strong headmaster being called back to bring peace and order into a prep school that has had a period of over-the-top freedom, which allowed all the pupils to become unruly and want their own selfish way. You can bring everything down and use the example of a prep school. In the past, nation states, somebody told me, a friend of mine told me, came into being to control all the warring tribes that were at each other's throat. Well, this day and age, it is quite natural, a logical follow-on, that one global top table comes together and makes sure that all the individual nation states who are fighting each other they control them. Don't fight. Just like a prep school headmaster controls 159 pupils and makes sure they don't fight. Just like in the old days, the nation states sovereign were formed to stop the tribes fighting. So we've got to do the same thing again. It's logical. Think of the benefits. No more threat of major nuclear end of world warfare. No more proxy wars. No more neighborly territorial squabbles. No more terrorism. No more unnatural mass migration. No more rogue states. No more religious wars. No more burning of forests. No more poaching and killing of wildlife. And probably a lot less mental health issues. All possible with one responsible and strong headmaster and or one top table of responsible leaders whose main ruling guidelines will be, for the first time, what is beneficial for the environment rather than what is good for man. It can only be done successfully by one unified source of power that wields one very big stick. This has to happen, however draconian it appears, and it has to happen now. You can say that God has told us to do it via his creation, commonly known as the environment. For our environment, which includes our climate, has told us quite clearly that mankind is now in its last chance saloon. And our God has given human natural brain, I got a bit modeled up there. And our God-given human rational brain has at last got the message loud and clear. So we now know we must act. And why not right now? Everything else is going global. And we know one source of power or command can very easily reach into every single living room right around the world. Let us treat this late-coming revelation like an exciting new invention. We know it is needed and will be beneficial, but how on earth do we put it into practice? Well, the following might help. Okay, another break. I need it as much as you, I'm sure. So let's cut here, as we say to the cameraman.